Rolling.
This is showing space.
Okay.
This is showing time.
Okay, you keep it that.
The male realizes today is not like any day. Today is Passenger Prince Day. Yes! It's Passenger Prince Day.
Why should I agree to this?
Oh, for me? Wow, thank you. Nice.
Where is it? Yes!
Watch the garbage cans when you get
That's definitely on purpose.
This cat just said, I go meow. You want to go out to eat tonight?
Sounds kind of nice. What do you want?
I don't know. Why don't you pick?
How about Mexican food?
I'm ready.
Thank you. Seriously? It's the same account.
Oh, you don't have to.
It's on me. I'll have another glass, thank you.
Oh,
No, I got it.
oh, my love, could you get the light? It's so far. My love.
Nice one.
Right.
Memories.
Memories.
So I think what I could take away from this is things that couples do to keep a spark running in their relationship. I think adding on to that entire roles and responsibilities that we mentioned, everything is so black and white. But what do you think about the switcheroo that they implemented in their own dynamic?
I mean, I feel that should be there every day.
That should be that. That happens. That happens.
Excuse me.
What are you saying? That it happens. But I didn't know why she was grumpy.
Yeah.
Not expecting it, no?
No, I
think when
mean,
you-
she just doesn't want the role reversal. She doesn't want to make
And
him
she
happy.
doesn't want the role reversal. But
I mean, so
felt
what?
like
One day
was-
she can make her husband happy.
Yeah, one day she can make her. One day, yeah. Give him one day.
But how do you feel about, like, again, men have this, okay, I have to be this, masculine guy. I need to take all the chores and responsibilities.
yeah.
Do you see like a sudden shift of, there's a lot of reels and a lot of different things where men like to be cuddled, they like to be shown that physical affection as well as taken care of. Because taken care of only means that, okay, clean the house, do this. That's how the society's mentality is. But here you see that it's not just that, but even like that little acts of chivalry of opening the door, asking what you want to eat, or different things also add on to that little bit of excitement in the relationship.
It's just showing affection, no? At the end of the day, it's just showing affection. So whoever
Yeah.
it is, if it's for a boy or a girl, a man or a wife, it's you want to show that affection because we are that kind of couple who we like to show affection, even if it's with our friends, family. We like to show we're very. I think my family is that kind of family where we're very. We want to show affection. We would buy each other gifts, and it's not only buying a gift. It's all about the surprise. Like we want to make it a surprise and all that. So
Or
I
maybe
think
it's
I-
just the 6 years of marriage talking, but I feel like
Why you cut me off,
what
yeah?
I'm gonna say is that I feel like you don't need a role reversal. You don't need a princess t-shirt, prince t-shirt for you to get that kind of this one. Maybe when you're 15 years married, maybe that might change. Maybe you do need role rehearsals. But one thing I can tell you and guarantee you is generally
Oh my God.
men are normally the same before and after. Just give an example. Like, so when we got married, I used to always open the door for Pujita, right? I used to always be that nice man, go open her door, let her walk through. And her initial reactions were, why do you have to open the door for me? Like, I can do my own stuff, right? I don't need a man to open the door for me. I don't need a man to come and pay my bill. I don't need a man to do this. And today, if I don't open the door, then there's a problem.
Babe, I tell you what, I was not fortunate to meet men who are chivalrous before you.
Again.
And then you
And then you got used to it.
I'm so used to it. I'm so pampered that I need things to be done, bills to be paid, money to be given.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. I feel like in a marriage, I would love to do that to her
Absolutely.
at any
Yeah,
point.
I think we do that. I think, and also this one thing, Ahmad, we call this our lazy days. Okay, so there is these things that we do where I would tell Karthik that Karthik, today is my lazy day. I'm not doing anything, and that means not do anything. So there is no you coming and telling me, you know what, Pujita, you've not folded your clothes, you've thrown the towel down. All that is not allowed. And even he would come and tell me, today is my lazy day. I'm not going to do anything. I just watch TV or not do anything. That's about it.
And you just let them be.
Is it like a set date or is it just
No, it's randomly.
fun.
You just wake up
I
one
think
day and
it's-
say, no, I'm not doing anything.
I think
today."
usually it's when, when we feel mentally drained, then we just feel really low. I think at that time we just want to give ourselves some time, and that time we do it when there's too
Yeah.
much stress around and all. We just
I don't want to be intrusive, but I want to be. What if one of the other partner is also not ready to give because both of you all want lazy days? Then what happens? Oh, it's so simple.
go. You know what?
I think that's the best.
Best lazy days where we both have it is take your mattress, put it in front of your TV,
And just do nothing.
You know, when we were kids, we used to sleep in the hall with the TV in the van. We put the mattress there. We tell the maid not to come tomorrow because we have to go open the door and shift the mattress inside and all. So we kept the mattress outside, get a lot of snacks, and then just watch TV.
I think that's a difference, especially when the real and when couples see and react, they're like, you know what, men should also go through this. Women like I see the the difference in opinion where it's so much of more acceptance that has come in with the kind of understanding as well as the time that you spend in together. Which makes it like, there's like no consequence. It's like, it's good.
I feel also, it's just, it depends on the two people at the end of the day.
Absolutely. There's one more reel on the similar bit, and let's see that how that takes it.
There's like 100 spots over here.
But it didn't matter. He needed to get closer. I found about 15 open spots along the way.
You keep passing them.
Instead, we drove around for another 17 minutes, wasting more time looking for a closer spot than if we just fucking parked and walked a few extra steps.
Oh, there's a spot. There's another one. Another one.
There's at least 40 wide open spots back where we came from.
Oh, that guy's leaving. Excuse me, are you leaving?
But no, he'd rather wait with his blinker on, mean mugging anyone who even thinks about snagging this spot away.
Yeah, this happened just now.
What was the first line
One.
that was written when it started the reel?
So
What
the
was
same
written?
is the
Husband-
description about
Subtitle.
Not subtitle.
it's the description about
the video.
Yeah, about the video where the husband or the partner is looking for space in a parking lot rather than taking the one that you find.
Yeah, so that, like I said, that happened just now.
But let him ask.
Yes, sorry, I'm.
No, I mean, I would want to hear more about what just happened. But I think the act of like the perspective difference. So I want to understand what do you think is the male's perspective here, and then we'll understand what do you think, the other partner was going through. Because what I see is that, okay, the guy does not want the other partner to walk too much. So, probably park a little bit closer so that you can, I mean, they may be different. But that's what I think again. What do you think?
I didn't think that. I don't have a male brain. I didn't think.
Exactly. So I want to hear your perspective. So you'll hear from
Men first always.
No, I cut you out last time.
Oh! Sorry for the decibel. So, I don't know. Why did he not park there? Maybe he was trying to reverse park.
Okay, so that's that one hand moment where you do and you try to park behind.
But I think that the male perspective, female perspective, very different. Okay, I've seen this in driving. I've seen this in cooking. There are a couple of things, and I've also read about it. And I feel like women see it in a very practical, rational way and see what can be done in the fastest way. Very multitask sort of approach. And men don't do that. Men try to analyze it. And also, like you said, they also look at the partner's comfort. Although they're not vocal about it, some men are not vocal about affection and the comfort, but they do think about it a lot. So maybe they think like that. But yeah, I think for women, it's very different. The way women think when it comes to these tasks, very straightforward, finish it off. Or if this task has a subtask, so they would even think about that. Like, if I'm going to do this, if I go get something else, is this going to help me out? So there are a lot of things attached, like a flow chart. But for men, it is just like from year to year.
I mean, for me, it is my perspective was the only objective of the man in the reel was to get a closest parking spot. As simple as that. Now that for me, the minute I find that spot and
Right.
park and I look at my wife, I'll be like, hey.
Accomplishment. You need that assurance.
Now
you need that
now,
validation.
see, I don't mind taking that extra time to go.
But where? You don't know.
have to walk.
To where? What if the lift is somewhere else?
I mean, closer to the door.
What if we have to use the lift?
It'll be inside the door, no?
Okay, but yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Right? I think
No, makes sense.
to add on to it, it's not just what's closer to go by, but I think by the time you're done with the entire mall run,
You'd have anyway spent more time.
and so the moment you get out of the exit, you just want to go back to your car,
Yeah.
not having to socialize and just leave.
Yeah.
That
All
can
this
also
is only in the beginning. I mean, the end of it would have been very different.
But
it would have
one
been
thing,
draggy and go, hey, let's go.
but one thing I would like to add is there are times that we can take a leave as women. We can take a leave from this and try to make the problem a little more simpler and not over-analyze it, which sometimes we do. And just think about it, because there are times when I think like a man, because I would be like, what would Karthik do to accomplish that task fastest and finish it off? And that helps. That also helps. So yeah, it works both ways.
I think acknowledging each other is what's more important. I'll retract.
But it's...
I can multitask if that's what you're talking about.
I
Like an
you
algorithm.
said it. You said that.
Okay, moving on to the next reel.
Oh, are we done in here?
Yeah, well, we finished eating. What?
I just thought that this might be a great moment for you to give me my gift.
Oh, shit. Amy, I didn't get you anything. You told me that you didn't want me to get you anything. What's happening? Oh, God. Are you crying?
No.
I have missed something here, baby. So you wanted a present.
Garrett, I tell you not to get me something, so you want to get me something really great because I'm the girlfriend that didn't ask for anything.
What? Okay, you know what? Let's go. I'll get you something now.
It is not about the goddamn gift.
Okay.
Typical.
I didn't say that. But I think a lot of times this happens. Like there are these unsaid rules and expectations. But I would want to hear from your side as to what did you understand about the reel, as to about communication and about these expectations that are either said, like saying one thing meaning another, saying another.
What were you saying? Something you whispered?
I said reminds you of something.
A lot of things, but what exactly?
Generally, the whole thing.
See, I'll tell you one thing. At the start of every relationship, you would want to be that person who's like, I don't want to say certain things, but I want it to happen to me. And I want the other person to just read my mind, which it doesn't work with men, okay? It just does not work. That is something that is just, thing is, they're not capable of doing it. Let's just keep it at that. They're not capable. We are also not capable of doing certain things. But we know you're not capable of doing that. So what you do is, some people will throw around hints and all that, but sometimes that also doesn't work. So you just tell them that, I want this.
Right.
Okay, or you buy it and you tell them that, hey, thank you for buying this for me, sort of thing.
No, absolutely right.
For example, my birthday, which is coming on October 14th, I'm just letting my friends also know this because they might have forgotten it.
Hopefully this airs before I go.
So what I did was, I bought myself all the things that Karthik might think I want. So I bought it last week, 3 days back.
I'm still getting her a gift, by the way.
I bought it off. And I was like, see, I bought all this. You don't have to buy me all these. Now you think of buying it, but I don't. And I told him, I don't want this, I don't want this. But this happened 6 years after the marriage. It didn't happen at the first go. So maybe there is this rite of passage where you have to go through. That is one thing with respect to gifts. But then when you mention something about perspective is something you mentioned.
About saying one thing meaning another.
Saying one thing meaning another. That I think it's human tendency to do that to the other person, where you're craving for something or you want that extra love and affection. Maybe you do that to the other person. I find that cute in a way. And I don't know, I find it cute.
Yeah, as long as you're saying something and meaning something else in a context that is like gift, But saying something and meaning something else in any other context would create a lot of complication, right? So I've always felt like it's better for you to say what you want or what you don't want, right? Trying to assume that the person you're in a relationship with, be it marriage or not marriage, trying to assume that they would know because they've been with you for X years, or they would know because they've seen you in situations like that before, isn't fair and isn't practical, right? It's very important for you to say, hey, Karthik, open your eyes, you're being an idiot.
Yeah, that, and he
Instead of
told
saying,
that.
Okay.
And
all
after
right.
that, I've come back saying, but you didn't do that last time. I've done that, and to which he's forgotten it. It's never registered in his mind. He's forgotten it, and he thinks I'm making shit up. Okay, then that goes into another argument. But one thing I want to say is to what he said about the perspective thing, right? Because it leads to miscommunication. There was this one time we recently went out somewhere to, I don't remember where, but it was a resort or something.
Kerala.
Traveling. And Karthik did, so we went cycling. There was a cycle. Karthik told, let's go cycling. And then I was not dressed for cycling. I was wearing my palazzo pants, and I was scared the cloth would go in the cycle
Tire,
and all that.
yeah, the wheels,
And then
box.
I was like, no, Karthik, I don't want to come. I assumed he would get it, but he didn't get it. Then he was like, why are you not coming? I don't understand. It's just still here and all that. Then I was like, okay, fine, all right. Let me sacrifice this and all. I took it and I went. And then it was continuously getting caught, to which he did the most typical, very, very genuine, typical thing of laughing at me. So at that time, it felt very like, a playground rule where a boy laughs at a girl and the girl gets irritated and feels bad. And so I did the same thing. He laughed at me saying, you don't know how to cycle. And then I felt bad and I was like, no, I'll get down, I'll walk back and go. Then he was like, wait, what happened? I didn't understand what happened.
I genuinely, I
he didn't
blanked.
understand. Then after that, I was like, no, it's getting stuck. I don't know what to do. And then he got down, he helped me out. And then he was like, next time it gets stuck, you tell me that, Karthik, I need your help. And then I will get this done for you. So the second time it got stuck, I stopped and I was like, Karthik, I need your help. And he came and undid it. Now, I started using that for everything, wherever I felt stuck, wherever I felt like I'm going to lose my mind. And because I know where if I go tell him a problem, he's going to give me the wrong answer. I would just tell Karthik, I need your help with this. And then he would come and be like, okay, fine, all right, I'll help you out. And that asking for help actually
asking for anything. The ground rules, for me, very important in any relationship that should be set is ask, say, talk, speak. Don't think or assume that they will know. Right? And this was a gifting thing. It was funny. But tomorrow it could be anything, right? I mean, if I don't ask, if I don't say I'm uncomfortable with you doing something, laughing or saying something, and if I don't voice it out, you assume that I would eventually understand through your reaction. You're piling things up, right? You're piling it up to a point where the bottle will explode. The relationship will go, really bad, really sour. And then everything will be about you never understood me. Now, why would I want to understand you if you have not told me what you felt?
But I think it goes both ways. That is definitely both ways.
You have to have a slight idea that, hey, she will not like it. But it's also important for the other person to say, I don't like it.
No,
to
babe,
make
that's
that
not what.
affirmative.
No, I'm saying, as much as the girl understands that, this is how I need to speak to a guy, and in a way I'm conditioning myself like that, which is a good thing. The guy also should start being a little more perceptive of these small things that ticks her off.
It works both ways.
It's perspective or work that both the partners need to put in. Because what we've seen is the reason why, like right now, for your dynamic, it works that you're able to ask for help and it happens. What we've seen is people will ask for help. Like one partner will ask for help, the other partner will do. But now the other partner has not done what this person wanted, which was not communicated. So when the person works, partner A now criticizes the person for not doing the work properly.
That does happen.
So what happens is now that even if somebody is asking, the partner is not going to do it because like if I do also there's a problem.
If I do also problem, don't do also
when
problem.
I ask also something. So I think it's like you mentioned, it's very subjective, but it's a lot to do with thorough and clear-cut communication and setting up that expectation. I think going on the reel again, in your early days, of being a partner and understanding each other, it's all right for that dynamic to work in, because now you'll understand. But I think both of them have to sit together and be like, hey, next time I say I don't want something, I really need something. So just understand it. So what happens is that the right tone is set. Because like you mentioned, everybody comes from their own experiences and baggages. Somebody would have said that but meant something else. Now you're coming in with that perspective.
I think over 6 years of marriage, there are at least 4 or 5 things I know she said she doesn't want, but she wants.
Right.
So eventually you'll get it. You'll get that dynamic if you're open to it. That's also very important, right? It's important for me to say I'm open to the fact that she wants to play it like a game. So we'll play it like a game.
What do you mean?
Like,
so he'll get something now. You don't know if you're going to like it or not.
But yeah, that makes sense. There are times when Karthik has told me, get this job done. And I've got it done. But then his expectation is like way high. So now I started conditioning him, saying, you're so good at it. You eventually should do it yourself.
Shouldn't have accepted that right now.
He should. No, he knows it.
Oh, okay.
So saying, not saying, and her thinking that she would understand what I want to say.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Right. Now looking at all the different reels that were there and understanding different perspectives, what would you say are your recommendations or suggestions to people who are either thinking of getting hitched, want to get into a relationship in general as well, based on your own experiences, based on what you've seen worked? And I'm pretty sure they've heard over the past 2 episodes wonderful feedback, wonderful suggestions also. But quickly to summarize as to what would you say are important aspects to keep in mind when you're trying to find a partner or getting into a relationship?
I think to work on yourself first and to heal internally. That helps a lot in a relationship. It's more than just 2 people just being there together. It's about your identity and your peace of mind. When you get your peace of mind is when you can do beautiful things with others. And I think that's when therapy comes to play. I've read and I've also seen how therapy can help people find themselves and also understand and develop and strengthen their relationship with others. It can be current, it can be even if you're dating someone or a marriage. And personally, I feel being married, I feel that having individual therapy first also gives me so much more perspective because I know where I stand and I can also understand what Karthik thinks. So it just opens a whole new world for me, new perspective, and it gives me so much confidence, honestly. So that really helps a lot.
Nice. I mean, I totally respect everything she said. One thing I want to tell anybody who wants to get into a relationship, and I want to take a small example out of when I met Pujita, because that was the time I was getting into a relationship with her, right? And even before I met her, before I even looked up her on the matrimonial side, the first thing I did was in my profile that was created by my family, and they did it with utmost keeping my priorities ahead. The first thing I did was I removed all filters. And that's when I found her, right? So I think my advice to anybody who's trying to get into a relationship is stop expecting, remove filters, you become ready first. And then, then anything works. Yeah. Then anything is fine. Anything can be dealt with, right? Empty the cup and then restart if needed. So I think that
helps a lot.
From my perspective is what I would tell
you. Just
people.
complemented each other because again, the point is until unless you deal with your own concerns or the baggage or your own experiences that you bring into the picture is where those filters also come into picture. Because you're like, because of these experiences, I don't want a person who's doing this. I don't want the person from here doing this. This is the background. To once you do go and you address these things, whether it's individual therapy or even once you start, getting along with each other to also address things together would help you to see the person as they are. Rather than with your own biases.
Yeah, that's
to be
so
like,
true.
This person is doing this. This is what I went through. Is this the same thing that's happening? Because that's just going to
keep coming back.
And comparison is something that hurts. And I feel like even the baggage, everyone has baggage, right? I think every relationship that you've been through in your life, it it's made you who you are right now. And that's what I keep telling Karthik, that whatever you've been through in life, you are, I like the person that you are right now because of the choices you made before and because of the baggage that you have. So you respect that, the kind of burden they're carrying, and you support them and you give them time to heal, to work that out. So you're not here to actually remove his burden, because then that expectation starts.
It's not going to happen that way.
Yeah, it's just you give them that, you need to heal, you need to get ready. And for people who are looking out for their partners, like he said, you need to be ready. You need to be ready to accept that person, and just no filters. Just be okay with everything.
So just add on to that little bit. I think especially when marriage comes into the picture, people are very keen on knowing their past, which is again, we want that acceptance, we want that vulnerability, but just to understand, when you did mention, accept everything or, deal with it, what would you suggest to people who want to know about the other person's past? Because I feel it's a little personal, plus it may not reflect the person, like how you mentioned, whatever he's gone through has made him the person he is, but a lot of times some people would not want to acknowledge it or talk about it because that's not who they are.
But I feel like if you're with that person,
From a marriage perspective.
Yeah, in a marriage perspective, you're with that person, you should be able to talk about it. If you're not able to talk about it, then I don't know, you need more therapy. But I feel like you should be able to talk about it, because you've already found that comfort in them, and it's a safe space. Right. So you should be able to talk about it. And if you're in a situation, you're in a relationship where your partner is not able to talk to you about the past, then I think you need to understand where the root or the cause for that kind of discomfort is, and sort of talk about that discomfort. More than talking about the past, you talk about the discomfort, and then eventually he will talk. Maybe sometimes he or she does not want to talk about the past because they're still in that immature mindset of how they were that time. So they're just holding on to that something small. So that discomfort, you understand that, and maybe tomorrow they'll open up to you. But if you find that person, and you should be able to tell them everything.
Yeah,
I mean, it eventually comes up.
It's better to fail early.
It comes up, right?
It's better to fail early, and you learn your way through, right?
But it's not also like you sit and you're like, this. It's just a conversation that you have. If you have an emotion, I think that's one more thing. When the way you brought it up, Ahmed, I think if there's an emotion that is triggering me, that emotion basically, the root cause is somewhere in the past. So what we try to do is analyze what is the issue that was there in the past and understand where it's coming from. Now, it's up to me if I have to heal that now or just wait it out and say, okay, this is not going to happen, but it's not going to happen by me right now. I'm just going to let it go. That's an individual thing. But then it's that emotion that you look at and see how you're going to work that out. So it's basically just that.
And like how you mentioned, I think being that vulnerable, because again, it's difficult to know now who that person is going to be. I think the point that I get from here is that once you've identified that person, and it's okay to be vulnerable, and then start off with a clean slate rather than taking things, whether you feel like, again, because a lot of times what we've seen and understood is, even though the person has found that person, and when they've spoken about their past experiences, now that's changed the perception about this person. Like, hey, I never thought that this is what.
But then that is not
true. That's why I'm saying it's so better to fail fast.
That's what people don't. I think they feel like once they get to know that person, they feel like that acceptance needs to come, and they don't get. Also, they're just trying to take for that acceptance. Yeah. They don't know how to take a step back. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to marriage or when you're looking for a prospect,
that's true,
where you can be vulnerable, also be comfortable to be vulnerable rather than that being held against you. Because that's, I think, the fear that happens in dating a lot of times that you would see.
I think also dating is a very different ball game altogether in these terms, in these times, especially with judgment. I feel like what I would like to say in this perspective in terms of talking about your past is have a non-judgmental attitude, even when you're talking about your past or when you're listening to someone's past, right? It works both ways. When I'm talking about my past, firstly, I need to be non-judgmental about myself, right? If I've convinced myself that I made a mistake,
Right.
and I've been, let's say, a playboy or whatever, right? What's the worst that you could have done? Killed someone, then you're definitely not going to be married, right? So it's not that bad. So first you need to give yourself that benefit of doubt that it's okay to have made a mistake. It's okay to have had a relationship. It's okay to have broken up with someone.
Right.
First, you convince
That
yourself that
acceptance
it's
first
fine.
comes in, right.
And then you would be able to open up to anybody.
Absolutely. I think that self-acceptance leaves for the other person to accept you. Otherwise, you're just holding on to the other person to give you that validation or reassurance of being like, you know what, whatever happened is all right.
Hands.
Saying, oh my God,
That's
I need
destruction.
That validation.
Then it just backfires at you.
Nice.
That's
Right.
good, Ahmed.
Man, good conversation, Pujita.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've taken out your time here to be part of this wonderful conversation. I think the audience have a lot to take from you to understand. I think you've given very, very, very insightful comments, insightful opinions and views about a lot of different things. Personally, also, again, it's so different. I think the previous conversation that we have had was more around dating, and I can see like the stark difference that is there. And once you do give in, or you take that leap of faith for the men who are, or for the women who are a little fearful about the entire fact, when you work on it, when you work on yourself, communicate, take the time and space in order to heal, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We would definitely want to hear more from you and actually have you as guests more often. But thank you so much for joining this initiative by Inspiron of Open Mind Safe Spaces. If there is anything else that you want to add on or let the audience know, this is the space and time. If not, like a simple hi and bye would.
Guys, we've known Inspiron, we know you, we know this space. It's a safe space. We loved this time here, all of you.
And I like that Inspiron has started this this dialogue series, you know, where you're talking about it. And that has always been with Inspiron. If you've noticed, from the inception, it's all about conversations, you know.
Okay, now she's selling Inspiron. Huh?
Or it's conversation over coffee. That's how it started. And I
So
love
that was
that
his first project, right? Conversation over coffee.
No,
What was
that
the
is in
That was an Artillery Cafe.
yes,
Right.
conversations over coffee. And even yeah, so that was, it's all about conversation, it's all about talking and normalizing it. And I love that about Inspiron, where it's just nothing about it is given a label. We've, like, you guys have normalized it, and it's just so calm. Usually it's a little more chaotic when people say psychology, a psychology clinic and psychologists and all. It for me, from what I've heard and what I've seen, it's always been a little chaotic. And here it just feels a little more natural, you know. It just feels like you're easily accepted over here. So it's great. It's exceptional.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Please stay tuned for our next episode and we will keep you posted on the same. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.